Hey everyone, I just want to show you the cool art project you could do today. Now this project is optional. I would love for you to participate if you have all of your other work done. It's very fun and I think you would enjoy it, and it includes a little bit of a walk outside in the forest and then coming back and doing some art. So attached to this lesson I have a nature journal, and the nature journal is cool sort of set of pages made by somebody in our district, our school district, and it talks about the different animals you might be seeing around here in our natural environment in Port Moody. So different birds you might be seeing if you go out into the forest. Also different mammals, coyotes and raccoons, the family dog or cat, different reptiles. We were out walking today and we unfortunately saw a little snake who had been cut in half, and some insects. And actually the last page is the page I'd love for you to pay attention to when you're doing your forest walk. So what you're going to do is you're going to head out into the forest, hopefully with an adult or a friend, and you're going to be taking small specimens of plants. Not the whole plant, just a little piece of it. So for example, I went out this afternoon and I grabbed a few very lovely leaves and flowers. If you're grabbing a flower, you don't want anything too thick. You want some of the thinner ones. Okay, and there I've got a really neat leaf here that kind of looks a little bit like a caterpillar. So you're going to grab a variety of different samples, and this actually is where the where this page can come in, because a lot of these things, as I'm grabbing them, I can be able to identify. So for example, when I look at this item here, I can look here and that's very clearly red cedar, one of the trees that is very, very common here in Port Moody. And it's of course a tree that the First Nations people use so often for their homes, their canoes, for using the inner bark to weave clothing out of. Very popular. We also have over here, everybody can probably tell right off the bat that that is a maple, and I have two choices of maple here. I either have the big leaf maple or I have a vine maple, and this is a smaller leaf, so this is a vine maple. And I've got also, these came off the same maple tree. It's the seed pods from the maple tree. I used to call them helicopters when I was a kid because you can flick them and they fly like helicopters. So I also was able to grab an elderberry bush. So a leaf off of an elderberry. So as you're going through, you might actually be able to identify some of the plants that you're seeing with this handy dandy guide. There's lots of wild roses about. They smell like roses. They don't look as much like roses. And yeah, lots of ferns if you're right into the forest, or dandelions might be growing on your yard. Once you've grabbed probably 5 or 6 samples, what you're going to do next is a print. You're going to do a rubbing. So what you do for these is you need to start off with a crayon, and you want to peel the crayon. What? Yeah, that's right. So you're going to take off all the crayon skin. Okay, so once you have peeled the crayon, or most of it, what you're going to do is you will take your piece of cedar or whatever you have, and you are going to place it underneath the paper. And then, very important, you are not going to use the crayon like this, okay? People do this sometimes and they're like, Mrs. S, it's not working. And you kind of, because this is lumpy, you might see something, but it doesn't work very well. You're not coloring the way we're used to. We're going to use the side of the crayon. All right, so move that guy out of the way. So you place it underneath the paper, and many of you might have done this when you were younger. Lots of younger kids do this. So what you do is you go ahead and you use the side of the crayon, and you'll get a really lovely impression, a print of what the object looks like. All right, so I go ahead, and now I've got a really lovely print of the cedar. And because I know it's a cedar, because I was able to identify it using my sheet, I'm actually going to write cedar. C-E-D-A-R. Okay, and then I'm going to take another one. I might take this lovely vine maple, and I will Maybe use the same color, maybe use a different color. It's up to you. And I'm going to go sideways. I just think it's always so cool how it just like magically appears like you've taken a photograph of it, print. Okay, and I've got my gorgeous vine maple. So try not to have the plant move if you can. And if it doesn't go perfectly, grab another sheet of paper and try it again. So I can call this my vine maple. And I will continue to use my crayon to create prints of the different native plants that I've collected from around on my little walk. All right, so this is me trying to do the helicopter, and as I'm doing him, I am noticing that I'm getting it somewhat, because the seed part of things is pretty bumpy. It may not be my very best print, but it's still kind of cool. I'm still getting something here. All right, yeah, there we go. Just rub it in, and I'm getting my maple seed. So have yourself a good time with doing your impressions of your plants that you gather from your nature walk. Thanks a lot. Bye.